Hi everyone, I'm Scott. Welcome to another episode of The Unlikely Beak. So it's been a couple of days since we first installed our package back here. So now we've come back to check on the queen release and just to kind of make sure that everything is okay in the hive. We're also going to check the syrup levels. And if they need more syrup, then we've brought some along and we'll be putting it in there. So without wasting any more time on this very gloomy and possibly rainy day, it's also not very warm either. Let's stop talking about it and get in there and see what's going on. So we'll be right back. Hi everyone, so we, as you can see here, we are all set up. We got everything set up here. We haven't gotten into the colony yet. We're just about to. I'm just still working out all the kinks here on my camera setup there, guys. So we're gonna get in and see what's going on. But first we're gonna get the smoker started just in case we need it when we get in there. On a day like today, there's not going to be any bees out flying, so they're all going to be in there, and we're definitely going to need some smoke to move them around. The way I start a smoker may not be the way everybody starts a smoker, but and of course there's a lot of debate about whether or not I'm going to burn a hole in the side. So what I have here is I just have a normal propane torch, my smoker, and I've got a pine straw in there, and I just hold the smoker on the side of it and pump the bellows and until I get some smoke rolling. So that's the way I do it. I've yet to burn a hole inside of the smoker, although a lot of people seem concerned that that is a possible or probable outcome. I just haven't seen it yet myself. So gonna get the smoker going here and we'll be right back. As you can see, that doesn't take very long, especially with these cheap Chinese smokers. They're very thin, and so the heat transfers really fast. So that didn't take very long at all. So now that we have some smoke, let's get in and see what's going on. So let's take a look here at the syrup level. As you can see in here, plenty of feeding going on in there. And there's still plenty of syrup as well. So definitely probably, we'll top it off probably a little bit, but it's going to definitely make getting in there a little bit more of a challenge, but not impossible. We're just going to have to be a little slower, a little bit more careful. But being slow around the bees is never a bad thing. As you can see here, I'm going to pop this. I'm going to move it over here and set it on top of the quilt board so that I can get access to the frames and get in there and check my queen cage, see if she's been released yet or not. So have a look here. So there are our bees. And if you remember, we put our queen cage right there in the middle. So we're going to remove a frame or two and see if we can see what's going on with her. So we'll take a look here. I have a couple of girls coming out here after me, so I'm going to smoke them. Now I know, I'm sure that some of you will say, I smoked them way too hard. Always hear that from a lot of other beekeepers. Oh, don't smoke your bees really hard. Well, I don't think it was very hard. So, you ask 10 beekeepers a question, you get 100 answers, right? So here we go. They're already starting to draw some comb out, as you can see. Yay! Ladies and gentlemen, we have eggs already. So you probably can't see them in there. But maybe you can, I'm not sure. But we've got some drawn out comb and we've got some eggs in there. Super excited about that. Of course, we can tell she's out because we can't see her in a cage, which I just dropped down into the colony. Plenty of bees in there, all doing what they're supposed to be doing. So you can see here, we're very carefully nudging our frames back over. We don't want to squish any bees. And we can see bees down in there in between the frames. I don't want to squish any. It's going to move really slow. We may end up squishing some anyway. But I'm going to try not to as much as possible. Of course, I see some sitting in there. So I'm hoping like when they feel, when they feel it getting a little tight, that they try to move out of there. But so I'm going to give them a little bit more smoke to try to see one. I see one down in there. I don't want her to get squished. Okay, so we're all closed back up there now, and so everything looked good. I saw there's a decent amount of drawn out comb for the last couple of days. I once again forgot to put the pollen patty in there on this colony. I'm really bad at that, I guess. So hopefully the weather is supposed to really improve in the next day or two. I definitely see a lot of dandelions and stuff around here, and I'm sure there's more off. So hopefully when the weather drastically improves, like today's high is only like 48 degrees. But in contrast, in just 3 or 4 days, it's going to be in the upper 60s to low 70s. So that'll definitely provide plenty of opportunity for them to fly out and to find some pollen sources. So I'm not terribly worried about that. I just gave them a ton more syrup. So they definitely are going to be good on syrup for a while. Now that I know that the queen is out of there and, is actually even laid already, I am not at all worried about this colony at this point. I think that I can leave them alone now for several weeks and they'll be fine. The numbers still looked very good in there. They said they were doing everything that they were supposed to be doing. There was lots of chaining and stuff. If you haven't seen that, I'll try to find an example of that and maybe put a picture of it or something in here once I edit this video. The thing that I would expect to see in there at this stage is perfect. So I'm really happy. Again, they can be left alone now to do their thing. So I'll be moving on here. The only other thing that I wanted to mention is that I would not normally get into the colony on a day like today. However, I am going out of town and I am unable to be here during the nicer days to get in there. So unfortunately, I had no other choice but to get in there today. But I would encourage you and recommend to you that on a day like today, as you can see, not a nice day, very cool, it's probably not a good idea. And if you can at all possible, wait and push your time, your day to get into the colony to a nicer day. It'll also be easier to work in there because there'll be a lot of bees out foraging, so there'll be less bees in the colony to have to deal with. So yeah, so that's it. Very happy with what I saw in there. Very encouraged. I am super happy about that. And so she's already starting to build the colony, which is exactly what she's supposed to do. Everything was absolutely textbook, classic, perfect. Thanks for watching the second episode. I hope that you enjoyed it. Again, I'm still working out the kinks and the bugs, but thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.